Good afternoon. This is Terri Quinlan. We are still at NAMM, except we're in Saturday day. And a good friend of mine, Stephen McClintock, said you should talk to Chris Mulkey. Chris Mulkey is an actor and got tons of other things that he's up to. We're going to get acquainted with Chris Mulkey today because he's also a musician, and that's why he's here at NAMM. So, Chris.
Yes.
We have not really talked personally before because I always see you performing somewhere, usually with Stephen.
Yeah, right.
And you are an amazing, fun guy to listen to musically. You're just really cool.
Thanks.
Really, thank you for being here.
Well, it's great to be here, Terry. It's I've been coming to NAMM for over a decade with my friend Keith Taylor from TaylorMade Studios. That's how I met Stephen,
Oh, okay.
and became enamored with his playing and music. Now he's on my new record.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we got so many new things coming down the pike here, right? So we'll try and touch base on all of them. First of all, let's go back to the beginning because everybody has some kind of influence and a story about how they led them to the music world. And where are you from, and where were you growing up, and all that kind of thing?
Well, I grew up in basically Minneapolis, St. Paul, the Twin Cities, which is a big blues town. And I had a friend, I played in like high school rock and roll bands. I think the first song I played on stage was Wooly Bully.
Oh, yeah, I remember
And
that.
it told Sally
Wooly
about
Bully.
a thing she saw, two big horn and a woolly jump. Anyhow,
Wooly.
and then I was a harmonica player at that time, and a friend of mine played a lot of blues clubs, and so I met a great jazz player and blues player, Bobby Lyle and Willie Weeks,
Yeah.
and so I jump up with them and play, and that was my intro into like club playing.
Uh-huh.
And I had a fake ID that said I was 21, so it was good.
Yeah, your intro to the world of performing.
But Terry, I looked like I was 2 years old. The guy would go, because they didn't have photos, and I was just a piece of paper. Okay, all right. Don't cause any trouble. Don't get drunk. So.
Oh, that's a good advice to get to a musician, right?
Yeah. Well, I never played. I never drank and played
Oh,
all my life. I never. No. I drink afterwards.
yeah,
But not. I was too scared to screw up.
yeah. That's a good thing to hear.
I'm not.
Not that some people think the opposite, and that they have to drink under the influence, or they won't be any good at all.
Yeah. But some people are really good for a little while. Hi.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a window there. They call it the 1656 window. So you're not any good until you drink 16 ounces of beer. But then after 56 ounces of beer, you're not any good anymore.
Keep them on the wall.
And I'm sure that's true of like whatever you smoke or blah.
Oh, yeah, it's a whole other story.
Once maybe great, twice you're an idiot. So
Yeah, I've heard stories
So,
like that. For sure.
Minneapolis, yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of moved around the country too because of your father's trade. You said you've been all over the
Yeah,
place.
he worked for he was a fundraiser for the National Democratic Party. Worked on the John F. Kennedy campaign back in the day when I was a little kid, and so we moved around a lot from Midwest to the West Coast, Washington, back to Midwest down to Georgia where he's from, and my mom is family's from Louisiana, and so yeah.
So your family roots, you talked about, because we talked a little bit before we started this interview. So the music part of your family is entertainment driven. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, my grandmother, Juanita Martin, was in vaudeville and was in she was a guitar player, and she was just
Vaudeville's a thing.
dancer.
I met a lady one time. I interviewed her at her 100th birthday. Where she said was a fan dancer.
She was a fan dancer.
Vaudeville was a thing, like a really huge thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So she was expelled Follies and all this stuff. And then she got married, had kids, and my mom was a singer in a group with her with my Aunt Betty, and they were kind of Andrew's sister singers during World War II for the USO.
Uh-huh.
And then she married my dad, who came back from the war, and they had 5 kids, and she was a mom, but she always sang
Oh,
Like,
okay.
she could just sing. No, fabulous singer.
She have a piano in the home or
We
what?
had a piano at home, and she wanted me to take piano lessons when I was a kid. I didn't cotton on to that. I was too active until I was like maybe 15, and then I started guitar and harmonica was really my first.
For me, my mother wanted, I used to dance around the house, dance. And I was on, because I was always on stage, of course, but my mother put me in a dance class. I hated it. I was like, I can't stand that discipline. And I cried and I protested and I had a tizzy fit.
Oh no!
Never did dance, but I did sing in school.
There you go. There you go.
It's funny how sometimes it happens to a lot of young kids. You push them too far into the music world and they rebel. I don't want to play the violin anymore.
No, yeah, you can't
No.
push too hard. Otherwise, it's just, you'll kick them out the box.
Totally. I do. I really love to sponsor and talk about the NAMM Foundation, which most people overlook. But the NAMM Foundation is all about keeping music education in schools because you can learn on your own, but when you learn a more formal education, it just seems like it's a way better deal. And even there's a mariachi program in, I think it's Arizona or Texas. And instead of the kid going into a class and learning how to play that kind of music, they have to earn their way to get their costume.
Well,
They
that's
have to earn
brilliant.
the hat. They have to, yeah. So they're not just nonchalantly, in a class. They're like dedicated to learning probably their family tradition. And so they're like the NAMM Foundation is all about. Let's teach teachers how to teach so it sticks, instead of a passive approach. I love the stuff that goes on at the NAMM Foundation meetings too.
Well, both my grandkids, Willow and Henry Homer, are both musical. She's a wonderful singer, and he likes to sing "Fall into the Danger Zone," and he likes to do that. But he's also a drummer,
Oh.
and he has private music with Bop Bop. That's my name, Bop Bop. And I give him a mandolin, and then we play. I open tune it to G, so he can't go wrong, and I play in G. Then we just jam out, and he just.
That
It's
is
so
so
great.
fun.
But the NAMM Foundation for them would be great to hook them into the groove of music and stuff.
Yeah.
In a way, they would be players before they were 10, which I wasn't, and then
Yeah.
great thing.
It's a really significant part of it. There's a couple people I've interviewed where they have family gatherings around the piano and everybody'd sing at Christmas, But this is a year-long deal, right?
Well, my daughter Amelia Mulkey is on a couple of my albums
Oh,
and has records, I think we call it now. And she's a great singer, and so we sing. We always sang at my house, and during the holidays, you get together. I just play slide guitar, and they'd sing. And
do you
they'd
think some people? There's a guy I know, Johnny Hodges, played piano at the Disneyland on Main Street. The little white piano that's by Coke's Corner. 25 years.
Wow.
And he also traveled a lot of other places, but I met him recently playing honky tonk piano in a pizza place. And but he's done a whole study about the family gene that probably gets passed down when no one's consciously aware, but he never took piano lessons. And so it's like, where did this come from? He was even adopted out when he was 2 or something. So it wasn't like he grew up with music in the home, but he's just got it,
Well, my 6-year-old grandson Henry Homer. I'm Christian Homer, by the way. So Henry Homer, and he sits down at the piano and he'll feel his way. He'll feel his way around. So that's really interesting. So I want to write a song with him.
That's a good idea.
I've written like six or seven songs with my daughter Amelia, and then my daughter Elizabeth is on a great tune I wrote called "Girls Rule Summer."
Oh, I like
It's a
that.
really good song. You can go on chrismalkeymusic.com and find all my stuff. So it's
That's
great.
good. In fact, you actually handed this to me. Let's put it right here.
There it is.
So this is there's several songs on here. There are 13 songs on this. And let's talk for a minute because some people use their CDs for a coffee holder. But
Mhm.
you were telling me that this is like a calling card.
Yeah, people will go, do you have a card? And I go, I don't have a card. I really do have cards, but I'll go, no, but here's the CD, and I'll give them my CD, and then they'll go, I don't have a CD player, so I say give it to somebody, or it's just a gift, and now you have a picture of me, and they'll go, because I'm an actor too, they'll go, well, would you sign it? And I went, sure, so
Yeah.
it's great, so I signed it.
Yeah. And I get to keep this one.
You do. Let me look at this. I think one of these, I think a couple of these songs are Last Chance Angel, which is cut number 8 on Wood and Wire, which is what a guitar is. It's wood and wire.
That's right.
But Last Chance Angel is in a movie I did the music for just recently. It's coming out called The Inheritance.
Huh.
I did. I think it's five songs.
5 songs.
Yeah.
So,
And one of them's on
we
here.
haven't covered the topic of songwriting,
No?
but that's mostly what I usually focus on, because when you do your songwriting, and to ask this, because I ask everybody, do you write something in the middle of the night? Do you do lyrics first? Do you do the music? How does a song come to you?
I have a vocabulary of licks and progressions that are always stored in kind of like I call the cookie jar, and it's back there. And then I'll wait, and I'll get an idea, and then I'll wait a little bit more, and then all of a sudden it'll go bang, and I'll go, whoa, here we go. So I'll go, excuse me, Last Chance Angel. I wrote it in 20 minutes. Barbecue Jump, which I've sold like 3 or 4 times now, was just straight up. It's just like the Lord of the Highway going. Mama's in the kitchen since 7:45. 3 cups of coffee and feeling great. Daddy's in the,
And you did mention to me that you do it a certain time of day. Talk about that.
10 o'clock. It's mornings, right after coffee. I'll go sit and either go out on my back porch and take my flat top 6-string or a mandolin. Usually I write on my I usually write on my 6-string, yeah, and just
But you were telling me that you discipline and do it. Well, even if you've done a gig, you still sit down and do this. Like
I'll come home from a gig and sit down and play.
because a lot of musicians, like they're on tour, and you get too much going on. I'll do it later. And the inspiration seems to be when you're in a quiet moment. So you just set a quiet moment intentionally.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
Like
Yeah.
Kitty Wells, I was Lloyd Axton's mom. Lloyd Axton wrote All My Exes Lived in Texas, and Kitty Wells' mom wrote. His mom is Kitty Wells, and she wrote, among other things, It Wasn't God That Made Honky Tonk Angels. But she also wrote Heartbreak Hotel.
Really?
Since My Baby Left Me.
He found a place to dwell. I know these songs because you know how old I am.
Yeah, there you go. Well, so I met her at Jerry Jeff Walker's birthday party back in the day in Austin, Texas. I did a movie with Jerry Jeff and became friends with him. And we were at his house, and what do you say, Chris? Let's play a little guitar today. Okay, great. I said, what do you mean? You're writing songs? And I wrote some songs, and I think I played this song called Runaway Child. And he said, Chris, you better get serious about this guitar playing and this songwriting. And he was a great guy. He did Mr. Bojangles, among other things.
Yeah.
Up Against the Wall, Your Redneck Mothers.
Yes.
That may have been, what was that? Ray Wiley Hubbard, maybe. That was.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, anyhow. But I like, I love blues. I grew up in blues. I love country because I love the stories that are told. And a lot of my songs are story songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen you. Some of your songs are like, really? You got a great sense of humor. You just bring the humor in. It's like, oh yeah, you did say that. I did hear it right.
I said that. Yeah.
Say that. So we haven't talked about film. Okay, you mentioned that you're going to have a thing going on in near future, March the 7th. What's happening then?
March 7th, a movie I did about a hair band reunion from 1992.
So it's a musical.
It's a musical, and original tunes, and Jake Bon Jovi plays this young singer that needs direction, and I play Rick Rubin, the hand. And I got long hair and dress in leather, and I'm the philosopher and kind of the savior of the whole thing. It's called Rock Bottom, and it'll be on Amazon Prime the 7th, and out in theaters, and as they say, vertically distributed.
And so Amazon is a good resource for you in this situation. You got,
Wow.
is it an Amazon film or not?
No, but they picked it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I have two other films playing right now on Amazon. One called Far Haven, which is a 1880s western, and then I have an immigration film, spooky immigration film called Deadland with me and Julio Cedilla. Shot it down the Mexican border and in Lagunitas, down in Texas, and
I have to catch up on my film watching.
well, I mean,
I've watched a few of your films, but I haven't seen those. So
so I want to tell. I
I'll
just
catch
want-
up to speed by the time we meet next time.
Yeah, but I'm really thankful that for everything that's come my way, as far as, acting wise, and to have 3 films bang, 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 bang on Amazon, maybe called the Mulkey Amazon,
There you
Right.
go. Yeah.
Mulkey Prime. But I'm thankful that they dig the
I actually have never talked to an actor with that much experience. So only like, even I've been in some stuff where you're the, what do they call it? You're the extra. I've gotten paid to be an
Ah.
extra. And then if you get a speaking part, you get to go a real extra. You have to be in the union and stuff like that. I've only showed up for gigs that, I've been somebody in a stadium or something like that. But it used to be fun. You see the process of how filmmaking is. And you wait a lot, right? You're not busy the whole time, right? When you're on set to do something, isn't it like, how
Yeah.
is it?
Well, they don't pay us to act; they pay us to wait.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah.
But I was a stage actor in my early 20s, and then I wrote a horror film. Then I produced another film, and I came out here to the American Film Institute. I took a leave of absence from this classical repertory theater I was working at, and I was working on everybody's thesis films. And while I was there, Clint Eastwood came. He had just come from doing For a Few More Dollars and The Good, Bad, the Ugly. He was a spaghetti western guy.
Oh, yeah.
And so they said in the big parlor room at the AFI, he's going to talk. And so I went over there, with a couple of friends that I met there that were actually in the AFI. I was just hanging out, working for
I've
people.
been out there for a while.
Yeah, and only 9 people showed up,
Really?
and I made the 10th. And so we went around. And he said, "Well, Terry, what do you want to do? What do you want to do?" And he said, "Chris, what do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, I want to get over as an actor." And he said, "Then when you're done here, go back to Minnesota, write a film with a partner. You produce it, star in it, but don't direct it." And I said, "Okay." So I went back to Minnesota. Got with my friend David Burton Morris and John Jenkins and Linda Jenkins, and we wrote a film called Loose Ends, and it won the USA Film Festival that year in Edinburgh,
Not bad for a
Berlin. Yeah, it was pretty good. And it's a great black and white film called Loose Ends. And then we did a sequel to that, Patty Rocks, which won Sundance in 1988, the grand prize, and
It's a big deal.
got distributed all over the world. And so, Clint Eastwood, thank you very much.
That's a very cool story. To write a script with other people, what's that process about? You sit, you have a deadline, you have to meet a certain deadline, or you all get together on Tuesday. How does that work?
Oh gosh, Terry, it's like all kinds of different ways. I like to get together and jam it out. I have a 90-minute rule where we'll just sit down and we'll write for 90 minutes. We'll see each other. Okay, we sit down at the table. It's 90 minutes. So if you want to tell me jokes or coffee or blah blah blah, whatever you
It's
want
part
to
of
do,
the 90 minutes.
90 minutes, I'm out because I get not anxious, but I lose interest. I want to do something else.
Yeah.
So and then I'll go home and take the notes, and I'm usually the scribe you know, I'll write the thing and then I'll take the ideas and I'm usually a scribe. I write plays at the Ruskin Theater in Santa Monica. We have a thing called the Cafe Plays. And every month on Sunday, 5 actors, 5 directors, and 5 writers all get together. In the morning, the writers are given a topic, and all 5 writers write a 2-person play in 3 hours about a topic. This last one was Off to the Races. And so it is set in a cafe anywhere in the world, at any time. And they have 3 hours. And after that, play goes to the director, and the 2 actors come in. Because I was given pictures of the 2 actors, so I have an idea of who they are, man and woman, whatever.
Yeah.
And I've written, I think I've written over 50 of them.
Oh, wow. So this is not just a little side hobby or something. This is a
No.
real deal.
Real deal. So yeah, 3 hours to write it, 5 hours for them to learn the lines, put on the costumes, the makeup, the props, and then after that, at 7:30, the play opens, and at 9:30, the play closes.
Wow.
So all 5 plays, they're usually 15 to 20 minutes long.
Uh-huh. Wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah, I just did it last Sunday.
I think I heard something about that, Stephen.
Yeah, I had 2 great actors that I've written for before, so had a good time. So.
What is this your invention from
No.
experience or
No, John Ruskin and Mike Myers from the Ruskin Theater thought of this thing called the Cafe Plays, and it's an 8-hour process. 8 hours, it goes on.
do people pay to participate, or is it a learning curve or educational thing, or how do you
No,
manage that?
no, people are not paid. I mean, they don't pay them.
Yeah.
They're just,
Oh, that's awesome. That's a really unique method for like a young person who really knows I want to be an actress. You know, I don't know how many people really do that, but there's definitely a mindset that goes on. I'm always amazed at people who do that. And like you can memorize lines, and your brain is like a recording institute of its own, and you just remembering all those lines and the script and all that.
I don't read anything when I do my shows, as you know. I don't put a tablet up there, so I'll do like hour, half hour, 3 hours. All the songs are all up here, so I'll just play the riff of the song, like download, and bang, I go.
Yeah. That's kind of what like Johnny Hodges I was talking about. It's like he's an encyclopedia of the keyboard. He just medleys one after another. And how did he even think of that one? And you know how I met him? He was playing that kind of a thing, and one of his songs was "It's a Small World."
Yeah.
And then one of the other songs was "You've Got a Friend in Me." You know, this guy's got a Disney connection. What is it? And I nailed it because 25 years working with Mr. Walt Disney. So he's a fun guy. I think he's turned 80 just this month.
It's crazy. So I'm really thankful for everything I got.
Yeah.
You know, we're just rocking here at NAMM.
Yeah.
I played. My friend is up at the PV booth. John Farrar. He's playing guitar up there. I played up there. Played up there Thursday with him.
Uh-huh.
And I played it mandolin at the
right here. Uh-huh.
over here.
Yeah.
So
it's quite amazing. I haven't walked the floor that much because I've been doing a lot of interviews, but I always learn something. I don't play an instrument. I used to sing a lot, and in high school we were competitive choir and stuff like that. And the teacher taught us how to read music, you know. So it's like pretty in depth. We did a competition, came to LA and won some stuff. And my mother, her family used to do Mexican music, el español, and she used to sort the sheet music. And my dad, who came out of the military, and he definitely sang songs, and I've got a picture of him, you know, recording and stuff like that. So I got some of that in my family too.
I love,
just kind of tap on it.
mariachi music and Mexican music. You know, that's one of the assets of living in California is the Mexican Latino culture here is fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
And it just carries me away. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah, it's quite amazing. So, I probably, when we meet another time, I've met some couple people on the path with my interviews that what you might have an interest in with acting and stuff like that. So it's Disney, it was a Disney gal I'm talking about. She's like, we're, when you've done the Disney thing, it's like a big family, In
yeah.
fact, my assistant here, Cheto, is one of those people. We work together. I was at Disneyland for 6 years as a photographer.
That's
And,
that's a good.
you engage with people every day when you're a photographer at Disneyland, and Mickey Mouse too.
I'm a fan of Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah.
Goofy. I like Goofy too.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm a little goofy.
Oh, that fits, and you've got the right color on for Goofy
Do I?
too. Yes.
Is that right?
Everybody enjoyed getting a little bit acquainted with Scott Mulkey. I'm not Scott. Chris Mulkey.
Yeah.
I know somebody else. Scott.
She knows my name at the concert, so that's what's really good.
Yeah.
Terry, Mulkey, what's going on? So the last time, just between me and you, last time I think we played with Steven. I left my credit card at the restaurant, so I had to come back. So Terry saved my credit card. So
Yeah, it was on the table and he'd gone. He was going to catch a flight or something in the morning. He was in a big hurry. I was like, hey, this belongs to Chris. We got to get a hold of him. So we caught him before he got all the way to Santa Monica, right?
yeah, I looked at my statement. You racked up like $5,000 in the 45 minutes that I was gone. It was amazing.
Leave that part out of the story.
Yeah, but that's okay. We're good friends. She'll make it up.
Anyway, if you ever find one of his cards,
Right.
anyway, so this is the guy right here, and look at him up on Amazon. Look him up on Netflix and all the other places, because I have watched some of your films, and you're an amazing actor.
Thank you.
And the drama is there for sure, and in life, real life, and in on the film and in the film industry, and your music. So can't get much better than this. Have a fun rest of your NAMM show.
Thank you, Sherry. It's great to be here. Big love to everybody.
Right. Thank you, everybody. This has been a presentation in cooperation with Seal Beach Community Television, where it will air. And also through that system, in addition to that, we will be on my YouTube channel at Terri Quinlan YouTube. So thank you again. I hope you enjoyed this segment of our interview with Chris Mulkey at the NAMM Show 2024. Thank you.
Rock on, baby.